guys. So great to have you here today at Build. Welcome.
Thanks. Great to be here.
Yeah. So, okay, same shark, different day, right? This is a line from the film, but it's kind of resonates throughout the whole thing because this is the 5th Sharknado film that we're going to be seeing. What is the deal with this premise for people who don't know what global swarming is about? What's the deal?
Go, Tara.
All right, well, a Sharknado, if they've never seen it before, it's about a shark and a tornado. Together, that's why it's called a Sharknado. Now, these Sharknadoes have gotten so big, now it's gone global. They're everywhere, so nowhere is safe. And that's why there's so many countries in this movie. That's why it's called global swarming.
Global swarming. And you actually went to the countries, right? Did you?
We went several different continents. We were in several different countries. Started off in Bulgaria.
Okay.
From there, we went to London, then on to Rome and Tokyo, and then Sydney, Australia.
So how was that different than shooting stateside?
Oh, I mean, night and day.
Yeah.
I mean, traveling and waking up and going to these countries like Tokyo, I mean, it's just amazing. And Bulgaria, I mean, each one had its own charm. And Rome, the food there, and, you know, it was freezing also. Bulgaria is the coldest place I've ever been to in my entire life. You could see it in the film.
That's awesome.
We worked with a skeleton crew that we took to every country. From there, we had to use production services from that particular country to fill in the rest of our units. Worked with a lot of different people from a lot of different countries, all put an oar in the water to row Sharknado to where it's going to launch on August 6th.
Yeah, Sunday. I can't believe it. So it launched originally in 2013, was a surprise hit. Take me back to when you got that call for the first or second or third time, whenever they pitched you on this, and they said, okay, your agent or whomever was like, Sharknado, do you want to star in this? Because I know it wasn't really called Sharknado at first, right?
No, it was Dark Skies.
Dark Skies,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Sounded way better at the time.
Yeah, I got the call, and it was a direct offer to be shot 3 or 4 days after I got the script, which to me told me somebody fell out. You don't cast a movie 3 days before you start shooting.
Sure.
Curious who that was.
I never knew either.
I still don't know.
I still don't know, yeah.
But in any event, I read the script and I had my concerns. I told my wife that I didn't think this was a good stepping stone on my career, and she told me, you need to go to work. I really only did it to provide for my family.
Yeah. What about you, Tara? What was your first reaction when you heard about it?
I thought it was the silliest movie I've ever read in my life. I thought, sharks in a tornado, you gotta be kidding me. And it was so bad that I was just laughing out loud how absurd it was. So that night I went out to dinner with my friends and I said, I read the worst script I've ever read in my life. And I started telling them about it. And everyone was laughing so hard. They're like, Tara, you have to do this movie. It's brilliant. And then look what happened. So I'm glad I said yes.
Surprise hit, though. I mean, I remember when it first launched, it went crazy all over Twitter and social media, right? And it still gets that traction.
There were like 5,000 tweets a minute for the entire Sharknado. There was a point where I was trending 3 different areas: Ian Ziering, Steve Sanders, Fin Shepard, and then Sharknado filled in the rest of the top 10 trending spots on Twitter globally.
How do you feel like your careers have changed, if at all, since Sharknado hit for the first time?
I just feel like it's opened so many opportunities and doors again for me. I think for a long time I was always playing the high school girl, you know, like American Pie and, you know, or college, you know, girls, but never did I get the chance to play a mother. And since now, you know, now that I've gotten a chance to play a mother, people are seeing me in a different light. And it's been incredible. I have 6 films coming out this year, and I'm a mother in all of them. So finally, I think this movie helped me break that barrier.
That's awesome. What about you, Ian?
You know, this is, every gig's got a closing curtain. And one thing that's sure is that I'm not going away anytime soon. I'm persistent. I feel like I'm really a journeyman actor, and this has just been a stepping stone on that path. But certainly it has opened doors. Work begets work. It's enabled us to stay topical, to stay relevant in an industry where everything is very superficial. So I'm very thankful for being a part of this project that is not just successful here in the United States, but on a global stage. It's raised our visibility. And there has been a lot of other things that I've been able to benefit from because of my experiences with this movie.
You are fighting sharks, of course, in Sharknado. And in the real world, behind the scenes, there are no real sharks, of course, in this
What?
What?
Really?
That's news to you guys. So what's it like behind the scenes when you're filming it? fighting these sharks that aren't there.
We laugh an awful lot.
Okay.
And you just have to have a really good imagination. I mean, like he'll be like shark, and we're like, ah! I mean, like it's ridiculous. There's nothing we're even looking at, and we're like, I'm like, are you looking there? I'm looking there.
We got to make sure our eye lines line up.
Same place for the carcass.
Yeah, it's challenging. The first movie, when the director would say jump, and I would be concerned, gosh, if I jump too high and they don't put an appropriately sized fish underneath me, I'm going to look like a clown. If I go like this, and they throw a guppy at me, I really had some concerns. But magically, the safety net appeared, and I realized that the visual effects team actually worked with my actions at the time to make plausible reactions. It raised my level of trust. In every subsequent movie, I have become more adept in understanding the environment, the virtual environment that we work in. So now I give them a lot to work with. When I'll slice through a shark in this Sharknado 5, I jump in the air with a sword and I slice the belly of a shark. But I had the presence of mind from the experience that I've had to look back and watch all the guts fall out of it. Where if this was the first movie, I wouldn't have had that understanding of what was capable. So we laugh an awful lot doing this stuff. That's really
some
what
of
it
the
is.
stuff we do. We're like, you got to be kidding. Even we think this is absurd. You're not going to make me do that. I can't. That looks ridiculous. I mean, in the one where I gave birth in a shark.
No, he gave birth inside a spacesuit, inside the belly of a shark,
yeah, and
as it fell to Earth.
Yeah, and he has to pull me out of it. And I remember him really pulling me out of it, going, "This is insane!" I had to go in there, I had blood all over the place, and then the original baby had this umbilical cord. I swear that went from here to you.
Oh, it was just disgusting.
It was so. We're like, dude, you gotta cut it. It can't be that. It was literally like a alien. Remember?
Oh my gosh. Some of the best parts of the films are the guest stars, and this year is no different. Can you talk a little bit about the guest stars in this season, this show?
This year, I got to work with Chris Kattan, and he's so funny. He's amazing. His comedic timing is brilliant, and he plays a prime minister, and he just does such a good job at it. He really makes me laugh out loud. I mean, he's one of the only people really that I broke character just laughing at him in the middle of the scene, because of the little kid.
He's really hysterical. This is not a comedic movie,
Yeah.
and his part was not comedic,
Yeah.
but just his nature is so funny. What he brought to the character. There were several times where we broke and just had to step out of frame to regroup and have a take 2 or a take 3. Fabio is playing the Pope. Charo is playing the Queen of England. The list goes on and on. We've got Olivia Newton-John working with us in this movie. Dolph Lundgren came by for a bite. We have a good time.
That's awesome. So I heard that Donald Trump was almost going to be in the season 3 of Sharknado playing a president.
Yeah.
So
Unfortunately,
what's the story behind this? And did you have a part in this because you worked
it
with
was
him on
being.
Celebrity Apprentice?
We were shooting. The Apprentice right before Sharknado, and we had pitched to him, and he was going to do it, schedule permitting, but it didn't work out.
Oh, well, that's unfortunate. That would have been a fun.
They went out to a lot of people. They went out to Mark Cuban, who inevitably
Yeah.
played the part. They also went out. I found out Mario Lopez was offered the part of the president.
Wow.
It's all based on scheduling.
Yeah,
If they're
that's true.
available, everyone, it's fine. It's all tongue in cheek, so why not?
Do you have any dream guest stars that you would love to see?
I would love to see someone like such a respected actor like Meryl Streep do
Yes.
something so silly like this. It'd be awesome,
What about you, Ian?
Going in that direction. Someone who's known for Meryl Streep does a lot of comedy too. So, but because any Oscar winner would really be great to work with. I like the action adventure heroes that we've seen in movies of the past. Bruce Campbell.
Yeah.
Or like Dolph Lundgren, who actually came to play, was a lot of fun. I don't know. I leave it up to the universe to decide who's going to make it. We go out to everybody. There's a lot of people that ask us if they can be in it. And now it's at the point, because we've gone global, it's not just people that are asking. There's other governments that have inquired about having us come to shoot there so we could decimate their iconic...
With lots of sharks.
Right.
Do you feel like there'll be more Sharknadoes down the line?
Do you guys feel like there'll be more Sharknadoes?
Yeah, we're getting a lot
you know,
of
it's kind of like the summer Super Bowl.
Yeah.
It's an event. It's appointment television. People get together to have parties. You know, 8-year-olds watch it with their 80-year-old grandparents.
Yeah, it's like a family. People have like Sharknado parties. They get so excited for it every year.
What about
it's a huge cult following.
Yeah, that's the thing. Do you have any celebrity fans that you've met through the years? Like, oh my gosh, I love
Harry Potter.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
He
Daniel Radcliffe?
loves it. Yeah.
Okay.
Daniel Radcliffe, again, it was scheduling, but we keep going out to him, and he's a huge fan of the movie. You know, it's hard not to be a fan of the movie. It's created its own genre. It's the fun movie where everyone's in on the joke except the actors within the movie.
Yeah.
So it's escapism, it's pure entertainment, and because it is so ridiculous, people enjoy it, not just here, but all over the world. It's amazing.
What about the stunts? Do you get to do any of the stunts in the film, or are they all kind of CGI sort of related?
We do a lot of wire work. You'd be surprised. Tara's flying around on wires. We spent many days hooked up in harnesses to wires. Any of the other stuff, there's some stunts that I do. I don't get crazy. I'm not looking to jump off buildings or things like that.
Sure.
But, you know, riding, theoretical sharks, green screen sharks down staircases or whatever, I'm happy to do that. Jumping from train car to train car, it's kind of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not looking to get hurt, though.
Yeah, no, we want to keep you intact for the more Sharknadoes, right? Do you ever have a say in some of the plot or some of the script at all?
Yeah, I mean, we definitely have our input in it for sure.
Yeah.
But I'm more of like, it's more of fixing the script about like dialogue.
Yeah.
We definitely have a lot of say in that.
A lot of times what happens is we'll be granted access to a particular location, so we have to fix the script. We have to adapt to the environment that we're able to work in. Or maybe it's a guest star who's coming to play with us that we have to change the script.
Change the scene.
It's got to stay fluid. The script changes until it's been edited. I think they're literally still working on a few minor tweaks before Sunday's premiere.
Okay, and you haven't seen it yet, right? So
No, we haven't.
I saw a raw copy of it recently. So, but I think it's hilarious. It's a lot of fun. That's the beauty of it. It's a combination of like adventure and action, but it's really funny at the end of the day. Yeah. So, in addition to this, did your family? You have kids? Do they watch it? What do they think?
My girls love it.
Yeah?
Sharknado was the first 3-syllable word my baby Penna said, and she said it while she was spinning around. Sharknado, Sharknado. It was awesome.
It's awesome. So maybe they have a future in acting at some point.
They've been in 2 Sharknadoes already.
See, there you go.
My mom, she watched it and she said to me, she calls me up and she was watching it with my dad, and she goes, Tara, she goes, I just have to tell you, those Sharknadoes are the stupidest movies I've ever seen. That's what she thought. I'm like, all right, Mom, thanks.
You're like, thanks, but it's a good gig. Do you have a favorite Sharknado? This is the 5th one, so.
This is my favorite one.
Favorite?
Yes.
Okay, why so?
Because, April gets she's a superhero now. I could fly, I have these powers, it's so much more fun to play, and the way she dresses, and, she really has an arc. She could just do so much more.
What about you, Ian?
I'm going to have to wait till I see this movie.
Okay.
That's true, actually. Good
I think
answer.
the second one was my favorite so far. We got to film it here in New York City. And we closed down Broadway. We're just a section of it where I stood on top of a fire truck and raised my chainsaw in the air and I screamed, "Let's go kill some sharks." And not just our set responded, but the entire city block responded. They knew what we were doing, and even people walking to work in the morning were like, "Yeah, Finn, go get them." So it was just amazing, Really enjoyed working here in Manhattan.
The first one had such low budget feel. I know they upped the budget. Do you feel as though that the kitschy vibe is still there and the low budget feel of it's still there?
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have to. If this was a James Cameron project, it would change quite a bit.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've noticed, but there's actual duct tape on that chainsaw. I mean, this is a prop.
Oh, yeah, I see it right there.
If you look close, it's not even a real chainsaw.
Yeah. So it's like, what? Yeah. Well, that's a takeaway too.
But it's a movie. Within the context of the movie, and when you see it, it's pretty badass. But on the day, I was looking at this thing that was just put together with hot glue and duct tape. It's okay. I'll just keep it moving so no one can really focus on it. But now that I'm seeing it in the picture, I'm like, oh, okay, my worst fears are realized. There's there's black duct tape, electrical tape here. It's don't look too close.
Yeah.
Don't look too close at anything. Half the time, like, we're wearing boots, they're not wearing boots. I mean,
Yeah.
there's no continuity.
Yeah.
It's just all over
We
the
run through wet paint in hopes no one sees the footprints that we've left behind.
It's part of the charm, though. It really
It
is.
is, because it really
Yeah.
just, there's no, if you're looking like for continuity,
Yeah, you're not
it's
gonna
not
find
the
it.
movie, you're gonna find it.
But I think that's why it resonates with so many people. I really do. The beginning of the film takes place in London. You're in front of a lot of famous structures and buildings. Did you actually go there to shoot them?
Oh, yeah.
How was that?
Oh, yeah.
Wherever you see us, we are
Yeah.
in those actual places, whether it's the Coliseum or in front of the Westminster Clock Tower. All
I remember
over.
we were shooting in London, and Ian looks at me and he goes, like, Tara, can you believe, like, there's Big Ben? Like, we're shooting in front of Big Ben, you know?
Yeah.
And he was right, and we're thinking, oh my God, this is Sharknado, and we're shooting in front of Big Ben.
Right, but the craft service table still sucks. It's not like...
I didn't think there was one.
Yeah, it's like cold quesadillas and mixed nuts. It's not a very big budget for these
Or
movies.
Bulgarian cheese bread.
Yeah. Bulgaria had the best craft service table. A lot of different cheeses. They're big on cheese
All
there.
cheese.
Can't go wrong with cheese. And at least the scenery was great all around. Okay, in addition to Sharknado, I know you have a bunch of other projects going on. You said you have 7 films. You have a film coming up called Worthless.
Worthless,
And
yeah.
this is a meaningful film for you, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's about bullying. And, you know, I think bullying is such an important part of society, and especially today with kids, with cyberbullying and body shaming. It's just, this is a movie that kind of shows you where the bully turns out to become the victim becomes a bully. You really see how where it generates. Like, if you could be bullied by your parents, and then you go out and you become bullied, and you bully a girl that day, and she gets mad and she bullies one of her friends, and her friend, I mean, the domino effect it has on people, and it really just needs to stop. It's really, you know, kids are committing suicide, and girls are getting all these problems, you know, because of it, and the body shaming. It's worse than it's ever been, and you know, it's something that I connected with in so many levels. So, you know, it was a passion project for me.
Yeah. How did you feel like you connected with it? Because I know you've spoken out about it a little bit on social media and everything.
I mean, I just feel like people love to hate, love to say mean things, and look for bad things. They want to say, "Look at this," like, or just like this, or she doesn't eat, or she doesn't like, and that's not true. Like, you can ask, "Do I eat?"
Yeah, she's a lot. I don't
services.
understand.
And so this is the thing that, like, people write such nasty things all the time, and it's just not. It's not true, but it's not nice. There's always another side to the story, you know. So I feel like this movie lets me speak about it, and also has, you know, a lot of awareness on bullying.
I know you have a lot of your hand in a lot of different projects, including like a clothing line, correct?
Yeah, I started a clothing line about 3 years ago called Chainsaw Brands. You can find it online, chainsawbrands.com, on Amazon as well. Looked all around the world for some incredible fabrics, and got some amazing T-shirts, some sport T-shirts, as well as some custom men's dress shirts. I'm wearing one right now. Just things that are conscious of the male physique, things that accentuate things. And whether you have the dad bod or who's your daddy bod, it's going to make everybody look great.
It's a nice little tagline.
So that's been exciting. It's a little different from the entertainment industry.
Yeah.
I've got a travel website called Celebrity Hideaways. That's been a lot of fun building that out. Again, since Celebrity Apprentice, I realized that I could be a project manager for myself. Why wouldn't I be? So learned a lot of skills on that show that I'm applying to my own life. Of course, having 2 little girls at home keeps me very busy. Father's the best role I've ever had.
Yeah.
Producing a movie, a science fiction movie as well. You know, life's too short to just do one thing.
Busy, right? So what was it like working with Trump on Celebrity Apprentice?
Nice guy.
Yeah. So you had a good experience with him.
Yeah, my experience was really just in front of the camera.
Yeah.
And, you know, he was charming. He was very nice. Yeah, good experience.
You both have, appeared in so many different films and shows throughout the years. When people meet you, what do they recognize you for? Is it Sharknado? Is it Beverly Hills 90210? Is it, American Pie?
It's American Pie for
American
me.
Pie always. What about for you?
Little girls that come up to me and say, "Oh, you're McKenna's dad from a movie I did, this American Girl doll story, McKenna Shoots for the Stars." I've got grandmas that come up to me and remember me from Dancing with the Stars. 90210, of course, spans many demographic niches, but Sharknado right now is the most topical, so I'm walking in New York and people say, "Hey, Finn, how's the weather today?" You know, it's very flattering.
That's great. Beverly Hills 90210, I know some of the cast members got together last year for a panel. You guys stay in touch? Do you ever talk like, oh my gosh,
Oh, no,
reunion?
we're all still very
Yeah.
close. We all keep in touch.
Yeah.
You know, when you work with somebody for so long, it becomes like family. Yeah. And I feel that kinship to my fellow castmates. I wouldn't be surprised if there was a reunion somewhere in the future.
Okay, well, we look forward to that. Before I let you two go, we have some questions from the crowd. Let's get to it.
Hi, how are you? So I know Michael Phelps did that shark race a couple of weeks ago, and I wanted to know if you saw it and what you think, and if you would want him to guest star in the movie.
Yeah, Phelps would be great in Sharknado. I did see that swim race, and you know, when I first heard about it, I was kind of shocked that anyone would get in the water with a great white. But the way they did it, it was a theoretical race. I figured, okay, that's how they did it. I thought, you know, first of all, it raised awareness of sharks, and then it was just a good promotional piece. And Phelps, if you're listening, if we do Sharknado 6, please come play with us.
Awesome. All right, next.
Hello, guys. Thank you for being here. So what was your daily regimen physically in preparing for this movie?
I mean, physically, every day we're up so early, and there's so much running and climbing and jumping and screaming, and I mean, and then you're freezing too as well. So you got to keep your body warm before your muscles kind of tend up. So we're always kind of working out the whole time through the movie. Always.
Day really starts with the alarm going off at 5 a.m. Have to be down in makeup by 6. Got to be in wardrobe by 6:30, and then be ready to start shooting at 7. And then we work for about 10 hours. We had some 18-hour days as well. And again, it's just fast and quick shots and move to the next location and figure out.
Because you're running from sharks. It's not like you're just like chilling. So you're always running and climbing and killing it.
It's a full day. And typically we would work 6-day work weeks, but because we would change locations, it would be 5 days or sometimes 6 days. And then we'd have to change another country, and then we'd get a couple days off whenever you go to another country.
Which was great.
It would give you a couple days off to adjust to the time zone difference.
That's nice. Thank you. We have one last question here.
Hi, guys. Thank you so much
Hi.
for being here. So you've taken this movie from New York and California, and now you've gone across the globe to Australia and the UK. Where do you think it'll go from here? Space or?
We've been to space already.
We've been to space.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah, good question. I think it's going to take some alcohol-induced creativity
Yeah,
to get there
exactly.
because really they're only limited.
Where
by
they
their
get these
imagination.
ideas, I think they're gonna have to take like some mushrooms or something. Like, who comes up
I
with
invite
these
you to
things?
make a suggestion, hashtag Sharknado 6. Let us know where you think we should shoot next.
I love it. Well, Ian, Tara, thanks so much for coming by today. Sharknado
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Sunday on Syfy. We can't wait for it. Sharknado 5. Give it up one more time for these guys.
Thanks
Thanks so much,
guys.
everyone.